Hello everybody, my name's Nicola and welcome back to my channel. This is the Frugal Cottage where we talk all things money to help you on your financial journey. Today's video is my June 2023 dividend income update for you, so don't forget to like and subscribe and let's get started. And I haven't posted a video in quite a while now, and for the simple fact that life is quite complicated at the moment and there's lots of stuff that's taking up all of my extra time. I'm trying to sort through lots of things at the moment and I can't juggle everything, and so unfortunately YouTube has been something that's had to take a backseat. However, I'm hoping to come back soon, and I'm also hoping to do a video about what's happening because there's some fairly major changes going on in my life at the moment, and so I feel like I will share that with you once I get a minute to get my head together and figure out how to kind of show that, I guess. But today's video is one that is a fairly regular video of mine, and I wanted to do this one. I like doing dividend income reports and I like watching these as well. So let's get started with June's dividend income. And as always, this is just me sharing my journey. This is not a recommendation for you to invest in the specific things I do. You need to do your own research. I have all of my shares and funds within a stocks and shares ISA with Hargreaves Lansdown, and I really recommend them as a product, so I'll leave a link down below to those if you want to have a look. But let's get started. So May was such a fantastic month for dividend income. It was the highest income so far this year, and actually June, to be fair, is really good as well. June is going to be the second highest month so far, and so that should tell you how this is going to go. And it's nice to finally see that the consistency up until a point and the reinvestments of it does start to pay off in the end. And I'm hoping that by watching these, you might feel the need or be inspired to start investing. The first months of dividends I ever got was like £11, and you can see here just how much that's grown since then. So let's start. So the first one to pay out for June is BAE Systems, and actually that's a fairly new, well, not fairly new. It's been in there. It's one of the new ones in my holding anyway, in my stocks and shares ISA, and the share price has gone up quite substantially as well since I bought them. So they're a good dividend payer, and the price of shares have gone up, so there's growth there as well. So that's a really good one. I really like having this in my portfolio. And they paid out £49.80, so we're off to a great start there. That one payout there is better than the total for March and the total for April as well. So it just shows that there's not, in terms of consistency, the income that you receive is really not consistent, but I guess that's part of the journey. The second one to pay out is Legal and General Group. Until all this happened, I only just invested in these, and again, one that I am glad that I've invested in. Their share price has gone up as well, although it does fluctuate more than the BAE Systems one does. But this is a fairly substantial amount. They paid out £153.23, which, if I think about it in terms of bills, which is why I was doing this whole dividend income journey to begin with, because it was going to pay for our early retirement expenses, and there's a whole load of things to do about that. It was supposed to cover things like bills and things like that, and I will come back to the early retirement dream at some point, I'm hoping, but life changes, doesn't it? So there we go. The third one that paid out in June was Sage Group. This is really small in comparison, but I've not really ever, I kind of bought a holding in this once and I've never added to it again. So that was £9.83. So really small in comparison, but again, the holding of that in my portfolio is quite small, and I don't think I've ever added to it bar that one time. So that kind of shows in this, whereas Legal and General Group I bought more of, so of course their dividend payout is going to be more. The fourth one is Tesco. Again, a fairly recent one. It's the only supermarket. I did have Morrison's at one point, but now Tesco is the only supermarket I have in my ISA, and these paid out £35.25. And then the final one is Unilever, and again, my holding for this is really quite small in comparison to some of the others, and so again that's reflected in the payout for the dividends, which is £20.81. And the total for June is £268.92. And if I think about that in relation to the bills that I pay, which in theory that's what that's going to go on, although it doesn't. I leave it inside my ISA. £268.90 would cover a fair few of them, so that's really good. And like I say, it's starting, the snowball is starting to roll, and it will continue to do so. It's just at some point all of this will change, and I'm starting over, but I'm starting over with more knowledge, so I'm not starting over completely. So what I'm going to show you now is just the visual representation of that, and then the other part of the spreadsheet that shows the dividends earned and the totals as well. So if you're new here, you won't know this, but I'm a massive fan of visual representations of things. It's why I have my budget planner with my no spend day tracker in it. I like to have some kind of visual representation that motivates me, and this is the dividends for 2023 so far. And you can see, again, I talk about consistency and the fact that dividend income is really inconsistent, as in my aim used to be to get £1,000 worth of dividends every month, but to be that consistent would actually be fairly tricky. So I guess it's going to be an average. But you can see there that June is definitely the second best month in the year after May's bumper payout. And I really like the fact that it is kind of, the numbers are getting bigger in the sense that the totals are kind of growing as the time goes on. The last thing to show you is the final part of the spreadsheet for now, and you can see there the differences in dividends earned. Also, I've invested nothing all year. I am hoping at one point that zero will change, but unless I end up getting more things through YouTube or Etsy sales, or more people buying virtual coffees or join my Patreon, the chances are that that's going to stay at zero for the foreseeable future. However, we continue our journey and we'll see where it takes us. And then the total for 2023 so far, bearing in mind we're halfway through now, is £980.39, which is such a good number. And I'm quite excited to see where the rest of the year goes. And even if things do change, at least I'll know where I stand. So that is my dividend income update for June 2023. And like I said, it's delayed because my life is quite complicated. And I did a video recently, didn't I, about how I'd learned loads of lessons from my entire world falling apart and kind of starting again and building a business. And then I was really kind of on that track, and then, as is always the case, it feels like real life just gets in the way a bit, and there's been lots of difficult things going on behind the scenes, and I have not had the time or the mental space to be able to sit and film or sit and do things, because there's so much else going on at the moment. However, there is an end in sight to that, and I will do videos soon because there's a lot of changes, and I want to share that with you because I feel like there are lots of supportive people on my channel, and I want to continue with doing all of this stuff so much that I need to figure out how to yet again juggle a million one different things so that I can fit this in. So thank you for sticking around even when I'm really hit and miss at the moment. I do appreciate that. And like I say, if you've had any dividend income, let me know down in the comments below. I like reading about people's dividend income journeys. And as always, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you again very soon.